والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, and His praise and blessings and peace be upon His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the rest of all the prophets and messengers and their followers until the day of judgment. My dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you in a new episode from your program, The Robe That Binds Us. Last episode we discussed the meaning of the Sunnah and what it means linguistically and what is the technical definition of this word. Now we'll go to the other part of our subject with the word al-jama'ah. Since we talk about the methodology of the people of Sunnah and the people of Jama'ah, what we means by the word al-jama'ah, what al-jama'ah refers to. And this word is a very unique. By the way, the word al-jama'ah, I don't think it's been used in the Qur'an. It was mentioned in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's Sunnah or Hadith. It was mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but this word we will not find the word al-jama'ah like this in the Qur'an, but we'll find something similar to it. So let's see. As we always start with explaining the linguistic definition of jama'ah. The linguistic definition of jama'ah. It's this word al-jama'ah. It was taken from jama'ah, which means to bring things or parts together. So jama'ah, gathering, when you collect things, when you bring things together, and this, when you collect things together, this could be something hissi, or we call it tangible, or ma'nawi, intangible. It could be physically you bring things together, or maybe you bring your thoughts together. That's why it's, for example, you can have physical physical, tangible jama'ah of prayer. We call for the prayer, all the Muslims come together to the masjid to pray together. We call this Salatul Jama'ah, praying in congregation, which it means we pray all together. That's why we call it Jama'ah, because physically all those people came in one place and became behind the Imam or praying behind the Imam. Also, maybe you're familiar with the word ijma', consensus, where the Muslim scholars come together and collect their thoughts about one issue and they all agree on it. So, since all these thoughts came together and they were consistent, there's a consensus between all the scholars in this matter, we call this ijma', which is something not hissi or something not physically, which is the intangible jama'ah, intangible jama'ah. So, as you see here, the word jam' or jama'ah also could be used when you collect your thoughts together. I said, ajma'u fikri, or I collect all my thoughts. That's a form of jam'. You collect things together. And it could be, as I said, also physically. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَأَجْمِعُوا أَمْرَكُمْ وَشُرَكَاءَكُمْ. So, gather your opinions and the partners that you worshipped alongside with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alongside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is Surah 10, verse 71. So here, ajmi'u, collect something physically with these partners, these idols that you worship, put all them together, and your thoughts, which is intangible. So if we want to talk about what is the technical definition of the word jama'ah, the technical definition of the word jama'ah. You remember what I said last episode, probably. Yes or not. But anyway, last episode I said it's very important to remember that the word can be used in different ways. in different ways, based on sometimes from one century to another. Also, it could be different from one group of scholars to another. It's very interesting, whoever study the history of any terminology or words or even symbols. It can be referred to something in the past, but referred to something totally different in this recent days. And there's so many examples like that. Anyway, going back to the technical definition of the word jama'ah, I went over this word in the textual evidence, which is in the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and also how the early Muslims and the early Muslim generations, the Sahaba and the Tabi'een, and also the Muslim scholars, how they use this word, the word jama'ah. And keep in mind that any science developed through history. So don't expect that the first generation or second generation or the first 200 or 300 years in Islam, the scholars were worried about putting a very clear definition to words, as we see in the scholars who came later on, the 6th century, the 7th century. When you study the science of hadith, you will see that the people who came later on, they concentrate more in setting the rules, putting the definitions, and so on. Which you will not find in the early Muslim generations in the first or second or third century. And this is in any science, any way. The technical definition of the word al-jama'ah, I divided them to two groups. Let's see how this word's been used. First, al-jama'ah were equal to the word as-sawad al-a'zam. As-sawad al-a'zam. This word, as-sawad al-a'zam, means the majority of people. The majority of people. Al-Imam al-Shatibi, also Al-Imam al-Tabari, used the word al-jama'ah and he referred to as-sawad al-a'zam. You will see also it been referred to as the scholar. Al-jama'ah, some scholars define the word al-jama'ah by saying al-jama'ah are the scholars. And this is the opinion of Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak and Ishaq ibn Rahaway, Amir al-Mu'mineen fi al-Hadith. Also, al-Bukhari, al-Tirmidhi, al-Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah, and many others said al-jama'ah are the scholars, the Muslim scholars. Al-jama'ah, they are al-ulama, the Muslim scholars. What else? We'll see. Also some scholars said al-jama'ah, they are the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum wa ardahum. And this mentioned by Imam al-Tabari and Shatibi also. One more. Meaning, matters agreed upon. And this opinion is very interesting. Whatever the Muslims will agree upon, whatever every Muslim will agree upon, that's what you call al-jama'ah. That's what you should stick to. That's what you should follow. So anything will be practiced or will be accepted by all Muslims, this is what you call al-jama'ah. So it's referred to what been practiced by the Muslims, different from what been practiced by non-Muslims, non-Muslim. Do we have one more meaning? Yes. All that which has been sanctioned by the Sharia. Anything the Sharia approved, anything came in Qur'an and Sunnah, and people practicing it, that's what you call al-jama'ah. So any order in the Qur'an or in the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, following it, following al-jama'ah. Practicing it or being accepting it and practicing it, it means you are in the jama'ah. In the jama'ah. So you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can think why I put all these 5 together will be great. But I will mention that in a little bit. Let's see, do we have any other meanings? Yes. Some scholars use the word al-jama'ah to refer to the leaders, to the Muslim leaders, to the leaders of the countries, princes, kings, governors, governors, military leaders, judges, even scholars. They said they are al-jama'ah, the leaders of any community. Also, we found the scholar said the people who have the power and control the country. So here this will exclude, for instance, judge or scholars, but it will refer to the caliphs or the princes, the military leaders, and this has been mentioned by Imam As-Sarkhasi, The one which is the leaders, this one been mentioned by Ibn Battal, the famous Shafi'i scholar. The jama'ah also been used to refer to the when a Muslim gathered upon an imam. When the Muslim come and give their legion to one imam, to one leader, to be their leader, we call those people with their imam al-jama'ah. And this opinion, the opinion of al-imam al-Tabari. Also, it referred to the Muslims gather upon righteous imam. So you can tell the difference. Here an imam, righteous or not. Others said no, only those who gathered upon a righteous imam. And this been mentioned by al-Imam Ash-Shatibi rahimahullah ta'ala. We have a very general meaning, which is any kind of gathering, it's called jama'ah. What's the conclusion from all of this? We see that this one is not what we're talking about, because this is referring to the linguistic meaning or the definition of jama'ah in Arabic language. And we see that this one, the 5th definition here, actually include all these. Because when you talk about what been sanctioned by the Sharia, proved by the Sharia, what came in Qur'an and Sunnah, it is basically which every Muslim should agree upon, what the scholars and the Sahaba and the Muslims always refer to Al-Qur'an and Sunnah to establish their evidence. So all these goes to this one. And if you notice also, all these 5 opinions or these 5 definitions all related to the ma'nawi jama'ah or the intangible jama'ah. But here, in the other side, we have the tangible jama'ah, the physical one, being in a country, being under the protection of or giving your legion to a leader or to be part of the political system of a country. So basically, if you look to this, you'll find then the 8th one, an imam, include the previous ones, the leaders and the people of power. And this one, the last one, which is the number 9, when a Muslim gathered upon the righteous imam. Righteous imam rule people by Al-Qur'an wa Sunnah. So basically number 9 include all of this. So the best form of jama'ah when Muslims gathered upon righteous imam. But also the jama'ah can be gathered around what the Sharia approved or what the Qur'an and Sunnah said, and also being ruled by an imam or a Muslim leader. That's basically the meaning of the jama'ah, and we came to the conclusion that there is a tangible jama'ah and intangible jama'ah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to hold to the Qur'an and Sunnah and to be part of our community to establish a strong community and a strong jama'ah. I'll leave you here and we will continue our discussion about this subject in the next episode.